So here periodically offset is measured and subtracted from signal under measurement to achieve low drift. A simple mechanism is to nullify the effect, add so much to it with a negative, automatically that will be subtracted from that, and what you get is exclusively the signal from the sensor. So to achieve this, there are two sets of switches, S1, S2, S3, S4. How exactly these operate? So during nulling, S1 and S2 are closed. Just see here, from the negative terminal, inverting terminal, here it is connected. So S1 and S2 are closed during the nulling. S3 and S4 are open. So what happens by doing this? Here the negative voltage which is coming to the non-inverting terminal, and this switch is closed. So these two are shorted. Now whatever comes here is nothing but the offset voltage because these two are shorted. So here what output you get is nothing but the offset voltage. So this offset voltage which is coming to the input of this S2, and because the switch S2 is closed, the capacitor CA gets charged to this offset voltage. So capacitor CA is holding the charges proportional to the input offset voltage of this amplifier, the main amplifier. Now in the next stage, during amplification, what happens? Here, this main amplifier, S3 and S4 are closed. So this S3 is closed and S4 is closed. So CA is now holding the charge which is proportional to the offset voltage. Now because S4 is closed, and connect output of the nulling amplifier to subtracting node of the main amplifier. See, CA is holding the charges, here you can see. So this, from this, S3 is also closed but S1 is not closed. So from this and this, here it is getting the output. So this output through S4 is connected to this main amplifier. And also because S3 is closed, this inverting terminal is receiving the input from plus terminal. So to the main amplifier, some voltage here which is connected to IN plus 1 is coming. This amplifies the signal and at the output this is available. But here the CA is holding this charge. So from here, because S4 is connected, here the subtraction is going to happen from the main amplifier output, whatever is available. So this now, because of this CB is going to hold the potential which is required for nulling. So this gets connected, and here the subtraction of the voltage, whatever is coming from the charges held due to offset, is getting subtracted. So whatever final output you get is the input minus the charges proportional to, or the voltage proportional to the offset voltage is getting subtracted. As a result, the final output will be without the offset voltage. So this IC is readily available, and whenever you have to use or use it in accurate measurements, just connect this IC after the sensor stage. Here the amplification as well as offset null reduction both are happening, and because it is used in the open loop mode, the gains are going to be very, very high. There is no feedback involved. So the gain reduction will not happen. Naturally, for all the op-amp circuits, infinite gain is available. Practically 10 to the power of 6 gain is available. Also, the common mode rejection ratio is also very, very high. So this improves basically the common mode rejection ratio plus the gain, and because it is used in the open loop mode, though the saturation may happen, but if the voltage levels are very, very low here, say microvolt or even lesser than that, because it is used in the open loop mode, the gain is not reduced, so the output is going to be very high. So your difference gain AD without the offset, because already the offset is going to be subtracted from the output, so the offset effect will not be there on the output. As a result, you can achieve very high DC gains, plus common mode rejection ratio is also very, very high, and power supply rejection ratio, naturally from the data sheet whatever is available over this range, whatever correction you have to make, you can make, or else as it is, it will be very high because the offset is already taken care of. So that microvolt voltage doesn't come into the effect of this power supply rejection ratio. One care what has to be taken here is, whatever is the signal, your switches have to be, the frequency of these switches have to be 2 times higher than the signal frequency. This is the common requirement whenever you make use of these switching circuits, because even the switches also add to some disturbance in the measurements. If the switching frequency is not maintained properly, then it may lose some data which is already sensed here. So the sensor data has to be properly switched on and read here properly. If the switches are not properly switched on at regular intervals, then you may lose some data. So the switching frequency of all these should be twice higher than the signal frequency. This is our Nyquist rate. In case of our sampling theorem, the Nyquist rate also is same. Signal frequency and the sampling frequency. What is the relationship there? The sampling frequency should be twice greater than the signal frequency for reconstruction of the signal without losing any information. That is the minimum requirement. If the switches are faster, then more samples can be taken and more number of times the offset can be adjusted. So minimum twice the frequency, but maximum the switching frequency can be even here, so that more samples can be taken and you get the actual picture clearly with the offset adjustment. Now basically here these are the circuits which are used for self correction or self calibration. Now what exactly is self correction? Every time if you make use of the potentiometer and the reference voltages to reduce the offset voltage, whenever it drifts, it is not always practical to manually do it. If there is some auto correction mechanism put in place, then the system becomes automatically able to add or subtract the offsets and give you the correct readings, accurate readings all the time. So for this self-correction and self-calibration by this kind of a mechanism is always there in these ICs. So here we have shown with the help of the capacitors, we are achieving this auto zero. correction. There are some mechanisms, as I mentioned in the choppers also, where the clock signals are used. By using the clock pulses, automatic switching on and off can be possible. Whenever it is at high voltage, switching on happens. When it comes to zero, off happens. So this is nothing but an automatic switching mechanism. So using that also we can use it. But whenever such systems are in place, one should be careful about the thermo-electromotive forces or the EMFs which are getting generated here. Because we know that if a resistor is maintained, now what I mean by resistor is maintained, one end at one temperature, the other end at other temperature, then due to the difference in the temperatures across the resistor, there is a possibility of thermo EMF getting generated in these resistors. If they are of wire bound type, then between the two ends of the resistor, there is a possibility of small thermo EMF getting generated. So due to this EMF generated, that may be taken out as or sensed as the voltage itself. Especially this is associated with the self-generating type. In case of the resistive type, you don't have this issue once you take care of the self-heating of the resistors. But in case of the self-generating type of sensors, where due to this self-generation only the EMF we are sensing. If these voltages which are due to the difference in the temperatures maintained across the resistors or the relays, or if you use many switches, then the switching mechanism, if it is slightly different for 2-3 switches, then also the sensed voltages may not be accurate. So to avoid all these things, proper soldering of the resistors is always advised. Not any other type of connection like through the relays, through the switches. And also the metal contacts which are there, they have to be maintained at the same temperatures. In other words, the ambient temperature should be properly maintained to minimize the power dissipation or the self-heating happening due to high ambient temperatures. And also the generation of these thermoelectromotive interferences. Thermoelectromotive interferences are basically for maintaining the or having two different temperatures across the resistors. So all these have to be minimized. There is one more mechanism that is known as drift correction by repetitive zero subtraction. Now here usually the junction temperatures when they are varying, now continuously this repetitive zero subtraction mechanism is applied. So continuously one switch to ground is always connected. The AC to ground or whatever the measurement sensor mechanism is there, to that and ground, no, there is a switch provided. So once it switches to the signal, actual sensor, and other time it switches to the ground. And this ground, whenever it is connected, the potential is measured and it is continuously getting added to the signal which is being measured. By doing this, we can minimize the drifts or any temperature variations those are happening can be taken care of. And also we know that there is a sample and hold mechanism. So this sample and hold circuits are also introduced in the circuit, and whenever the switch switches on to the zero, there will be only the offset voltage which is available at the input terminals of the op amp. This, when it is connected to sample and hold network, this offset voltage which is sampled and held on the sample and hold network. And this is used in the further addition or subtraction of this voltage whenever the actual measurements are made. By doing this, every time the offset voltage need not be reduced manually to zero. By sampling and holding this offset voltage, we can add it to the final output and add it with sign. If required, subtraction. So, by doing this, we can reduce the drift issues or the offset voltages. So there are several mechanisms like this, either the auto zero or sample and hold amplifiers or even integrators. Integrators are also used where the voltage which is available, the offset voltage which is available, that is integrated and made available at the output end. And this output again is added or subtracted from the final output. So it is basically with the sign it is added to get the final output to reduce the drift voltages. This is another mechanism which is employed. So auto zero or repetitive addition or sample and hold networks or modulation techniques or chopper circuits. All these are the circuits which are used for reducing the offset voltages or adjusting the offset voltages to zero and minimizing the drift issues.